Icefelt that can just shred people apart, and even Spree on the Roadhog, who's not too shabby himself at playing the big hog. So, you know, there's a lot of different elements on this team and some pretty good versatility from some of these players like Ube and Icefelt.
Yeah, Ube playing Mei has been a rather standout thing for me. Hedon on Ana is always incredible. I don't know if necessarily if I call him underrated, because most people I talk to praise him quite a bit.
Yeah.
Icefelt definitely stands out. You already touched on that. And Super Plock as Reinhardt, definitely a great player more often than not. Mineral, a lot of times he does have the sound barriers in the right place, but I mean, talking about Lucio is always a tricky thing, right? It's like sometimes that's just things that present itself to you, and sometimes it is rather inspired play that leads to something huge, but we don't usually have a camera on Lucio, so it's kind of hard to capture those moments when they happen.
Yeah, it's hard to talk about how good Lucios are without watching like their perspective a lot of the time, because a lot of what they do kind of goes unseen on a lot of the broadcast feed, but of course very pivotal part of the team as well.
Yeah, I'm sure once we get demos in the system, we're going to see a lot of Lucio highlight videos and stuff coming out.
That's right.
So we've seen Luminosity before give off clinical displays of the dive comp, especially on Anubis against Citizen 7 on day number 1. You think we're going to see that again here on Hollywood?
I think it's a possibility. There's, I mean, no saying that they can't do it or shouldn't. It can work. We've seen dive comps work on this map specifically. I mean, Kungarna has done it on this map during qualifiers, and it worked quite well. So I think it's very possible that we see something like that.
Yeah, and I think one of the keys is definitely going to be to take it to Kungarna. Kungarna is such an offensive team a lot of the time. They're so aggressive. Oftentimes they are able to take control of the battle even from more veteran teams. So Luminosity is going to want to take that from them very quickly. Immortals perhaps did that to Luminosity yesterday, and Luminosity didn't perform quite the way that I would have expected them to in that situation. Like you said, starting out on Hollywood, a dive comp definitely would make a lot of sense for me, for Luminosity, at least give it a shot. Well, granted, you don't want to abort in that situation, but really got to put pressure on Baby Bay very, very quickly. Don't let him run around on Soldier 76, which he usually will do on the first point of Hollywood. But again, Connor J.
What do you do?
It's the thing. I mean, quad tank for them too, I think, can make just as much sense, or a triple tank of some kind. So Luminosity at least has the options, I think, and I'm sure they've talked about it extensively, and they know what they want to run in this first point. We'll kind of have to see what they end up with. But.
So Luminosity versus Kungarna. Gotta get your guys' predictions here. Who's taking this one? How many games? Match number 4.
I would say Kungarna here 2-1, personally. I think Kungarna 2-1.
I'm going to have to agree, but I think it's going to be a 2-1 either way.
Okay.
So you're both going with Kungarna 2-1. Is this the map they drop, or they're going to drop a different one?
I think Kungarna would take this one, and then Luminosity will win whatever they pick, and then Kungarna will take it in the end. Yeah, I'll go with that. I feel good about Kungarna on Hollywood, so
Sure.
Same. I feel good about Kungarna on Hollywood.
yeah, because they take it to. I mean, they took it to complexity there, so. I mean, we'll see how it plays out, though.
Absolutely. So if we're going to be saying Kungarna's going to be winning, if Luminosity does bring the dive comp at the beginning, what do you expect to see them responding with?
Oh, what does Kungarna respond with? Oh, man. Well, I mean, I'm sure they will have, by default, they'll have Baby Bay probably on something like Soldier up on the balcony.
He's been playing a lot of Zarya
Well, that's
lately.
true, too. Yeah, absolutely.
That's going to throw off my entire feelings about dive comp, honestly. You press into that with how he's playing Zarya, and then you add in the fact that you're bringing a lot of these definite one-shot hook characters into Connor J. It's a sketchy proposition.
Yeah, that's also true. That's also true. That's why I say, I mean, I could just as very well see the triple or quad tank from Luminosity being a possibility, though. I wouldn't be surprised to see someone like Icefelt on maybe just a tracer, something of that nature, because we know that he can certainly do damage there. But we'll see. Kungarna going with the quad tank for their defense. Baby Bay is doing the old Zarya, which he's been doing much more of in the qualifiers. Didn't really play much of anything other than Tracer and Soldier 76, but he's found his footing on Zarya here and has been quite effective for Kungarna over the past few days. This is map 1 of 3 for these guys.
Felt looking for a very, very early gimme. A lot of times people play Ana, step up there and try and get an early biotic, so I was actually curious if anybody's going to try and pull that one off.
Hey,
Sombra?
Okay, all right. They're going to go for it. I'm excited for this. Let's go. We haven't really seen many people besides Complexity try the Sombra strategy. So Icefelt going in with it. He's going to get right into the back. Oh, the sleep from Blam. He's going to put him to bed right off the bat.
I didn't even see him turn.
That was a quick one, man. That was just a 180 flick sleep.
Tucked it under his elbow and fired it backwards.
that was some good stuff from Blam right there. Icefelt getting pulled in by Connor J too and put to bed. So Baby Bay might end up going down though. And he will. They're going back and forth with it. Luminosity
Kungarna
have
on
lost
top, though.
quite a lot. Yeah, Kungarna definitely on top of it, though. If they can move quickly, Luminosity, get the respawns, they might be able to beat them back to the point, at least on some of them. But
interesting look from Luminosity here. See if Icefelt can make his Sombra pay out quite as well as Torx. He's very, very close to an EMP here. And other than that, Kungarna holding on to a self-destruct, and Nano is looming, along with the Tranquility. Luminosity, that's really only the EMP for them.
yeah, they got it. Got it locked and loaded. And that Tranquility is going to be up very shortly from Kungarna, which could be a big difference maker. Icefelt working his way in. He's got it, uses it. There were a lot of bodies around as well. Remix the first to fall here, and Icefelt is going to get the hack onto Michael as well. So all he's going to be able to do is just walk forward and shoot. That's a brilliant hack coming out from Icefelt and making Michael pretty much ineffective throughout most of that, even though he had the nano boost on himself. He's going to hack him again, make sure he can't get back into his mech, at least for now. But Luminosity are definitely finding the kills. They have bodies all over this point. Yeah, and they should be able to take it. Michael now back into his mech, but put to sleep. The guy can't catch a break. Yeah, there's Luminosity is all over this point right now. They're going to get yet another hack onto Michael. Man.
That hack was like half a second away from making Michael land back on the wrong side. Poor Michael getting absolutely focused and abused by Luminosity so far.
Well, Luminosity gets the point. They have 4 minutes to get through this Streets phase. Quite a bit of time. EMP paying off. So far, they're going to have a lot of ults to work with for this next fight as well, but Kungarna's got quite a few for themselves as well.
Now 4 ultimates on the side of Luminosity, you are correct. And there's going to be 4 on the side of Kungarna. Both with the number of combinations they can pair those together. Kungarna is going to play defense very, very forward in order to either stagger Luminosity or coax some of their own ultimates out of them. Kungarna, moments away from an Earth Shatter. Remix looking forward on the side, but Super Block locking down most of it.
Oh, baby,
the Graviton coming out.
Coming out of the side. Here comes a self-destruct. Michael with 5. Beautifully placed. Maybe 4 for that, but still, that was... Oh, fantastic.
What does it matter?
Yeah, really. Either way,
Every
he just clobbered them.
Michael was involved in it.
Yeah, he just clobbered them regardless. And as soon as I saw it, there was nothing to help him, nothing to stop it. And
the Graviton from Baby Bay to set it all up.
That's right, coming out of the side. Very sneaky from himself. And Luminosity's going to try their hand at this. It's a shame they wasted nano boost in that as well. Here comes the EMP, though. Remix getting pulled in and obliterated by Ube. And they will just continue to push forward here as Michael is up in the face of Ube and doing quite a bit of damage. There will be a sound barrier used for Luminosity. And it's still just Ube in the back looking for a hook opportunity. Spree's doing a good job of cleaning up on some of the backline players. Blam amongst the victims for him. And Luminosity pressing forward still, as Michael will go down here in just a moment, or be left out of his suit. Either way, but
so far, just a momentary pause for Luminosity, and other than that, mostly keeping this car rolling the whole way through. Super Plock online with an Earth Shatter. Hedon getting close to a Nano Boost, and Ube a Whole Hog. Kungarna, they're holding on to their own Earth Shatter, but that's it.
He's going to be moving forward with it. Oh, he's going to lay it down. We've seen Remix have trouble the past few days with landing effective Earth Shatters, and yet again he's going to whiff one. Ube taking down Remix, and it is all Luminosity at the moment. 2 for Ube. Connor J finally shuts him down. He's going to run out there, maybe see if he can stall it just a bit, but he has no health to do so. Luminosity is just flowing at the moment, and they will get the second point. 3 minutes to get themselves all the way to last.
Luminosity certainly showing up from yesterday. Remix getting slept early. He's going to have to sit down, and he's going to fall again. Luminosity's just absolutely ruining Remix everywhere he goes. He's getting focused so hard. Biotic is almost always on top of him, being slept, being EMP'd, being earth-shattered. Luminosity are holding on to 3 ultimates here. Kungarna with none. Kungarna on their back foot, pushing to the 3rd point. Luminosity holding, or not holding, but they have 2.5 minutes on the clock here.
2.5 it is. And oh, there's the EMP. Icefeld, great positioning, dropping down from above to get that EMP in, and the rest of Luminosity will just press forward to wipe through Kungarna. They have no answer to the Sombra at the moment, who has just been such an issue for them. And Michael going down, he was the last one on it. They will have one last attempt, Kungarna, once they get these respawns to do something. But still, there's ultimates up, a couple for Luminosity.
And the way that EMP wiped away the half health of Baby Bay, taking away his shields, leaving him just standing there basically naked as he finishes him off. Icefeld on Sombra, and a Graviton coming out from the side of Kungarna as they're trying to hold on this 3rd point.
Let's see what they can do with it. So far, no kills. Ube's getting melted pretty quickly. Remix with the finishing blow to him. He will also pick up Icefeld, so a little something for Kungarna. It looks like they should be able to hold it off as Super Plock will just end it, just charge in and let them kill him in the end there. So they are going to be able to stop Luminosity, now down to 1 minute and 30.
Just meters away.
Yeah, very
meters
very
away.
close.
But now the cart's going to start rolling backwards a little bit. Kungarna with an Earth Shatter and a Nano Boost. A Pulse Bomb will come online relatively quickly if Michael stays on Tracer for this part. Luminosity with nothing to really work with, but Icefeld will certainly get his EMP to start this out. They're not too far away from 2 more.
Remix going really aggressive, and they're gonna be able to kite most of that. It's not good news for Kungarna. They gave him the Nano Boost, and he just charged in, and Luminosity just backed themselves up, and he really wasn't able to do anything with it. Michael is on Tracer for Kungarna. He tosses Pulse Bomb in there and couldn't really do anything with it. Connor J goes down, so Luminosity certainly with an opening here as they find 3 kills for themselves, and Kungarna was scattered in very odd places throughout this point, and they're going to pay for it. Luminosity just waltzing this card on forward, and they're very close to capping it off, and then Ube actually is going to win that battle with Connor J. There's no chance for Kungarna. I mean, Blam is pretty much the only one that's left in. Actually, Michael on Tracer is going to try and stall as long as he can alongside a Remix. He's got to stand on the point, but ends up going down. So Luminosity, with 19 seconds left in the time bank, do cap off all the points. Kungarna with a pretty consistent defense throughout. And we're able to bring it down to 19 seconds. Yeah, 3rd point being the biggest for them.
That Earth Shatter. Yeah, and really almost all of the EMPs from Icefeld were so nice.
Yeah, they were very effective. And Kungarna didn't really position themselves against the EMP, or to try and counter it at least with positioning. They were kind of clumped up a lot of the time. And one of the big faults from Kungarna there at the end was really sending Remix in with that Nano Boost really aggressively to charge in. Didn't really have any follow-up from the rest of his team. He was basically by himself when he did that charge, and Luminosity wasn't in a fighting position at that point. They just backed up, and you wasted that Nano Boost, which could have been really effective for them in another fight. It's just a mismanagement.
Especially with how Michael plays D.Va, throwing the Nano on him, or if Baby Bay's got his charge up. We know his tracking is pretty phenomenal.
Yep. Absolutely.
So yeah, throwing it on Remix. I'm not sure how I feel about that.
I mean, if Luminosity would have been a little bit closer,
sure, yeah,
I would have been okay with it. It was just that it was just so far away. He had to charge in to actually initiate the fight, and I don't even think the rest of Kungarna was really there to help him out.
Yeah, I mean, when teams are in the press and everybody's just intermixed in the same general area, sure, throwing a Nano Boost on a Reinhardt is often gold. I mean, you're going to generate a lot really, really quickly. Usually follow up with an Earth Shatter soon after that.
And swing your hammer.
Cranking out so much. But in that situation, when he's got to chase people down, without a Lucio speed boost or something to follow it up, doesn't necessarily pay out quite as well. Kungarna now on their chance for offense here at Hollywood. They will have to cap it all the way to stay alive here on this map. And Luminosity, looks like they're going to be running 3 tanks. Ana.
Yeah, that's Symmetra.
Symmetra and Soldier 76.
Well, they're going to try their hand at the Symmetra. They have Mineral on that. They had some forward-placed turrets just for for some early ult charge build, but Kungarna trying to get something going on there. Offense, Michael is on Tracer. Remix getting put to sleep, quickly woken up though. Man, he's gonna go in for a charge, and he's able to get Spree off of that. He pays with it for his life, but still, Icefelt getting a couple for himself. Michael hooked in, Ube couldn't quite convert on the kill. And Michael's just trying to dip and dodge for the time being and keep himself alive, going back for the health pack, missing the hook yet again. Ube's having a rough time here as the pulse bomb connects from Michael. And now Mineral on the point. He's very close to either a shield generator or a teleporter. We'll see what he decides to go with, if he can keep himself long enough, or alive long enough to do so, and he's actually taking it to Michael. Here is the tack visor from Icefelt, though, up top of the cafe. Hook missing from Connor J, so he was able to just, well, not do too much with that, but he will continue to be relatively uncontested up top of the cafe here. There's a nano boost given to Remix as he sends himself on in there, taking down Hedan, who is in the back, and there is going to be a teleporter up, so Luminosity players are going to be able to get back to the point. They have those reinforcements coming in, and Mineral is making some big plays, taking Michael yet again. Michael, a couple times now, has tried to deal with Mineral and maybe even get his teleporter, but he's just melting him
quite well, man.
Yeah, he really is. He got the telly up, and
Super block. He's got Nurse Shatter. Hedan working on a nano boost. Kungarna, they really only have a sound barrier and nothing else really on the table at the moment. 2 minutes left for Kungarna's offense here on the first point. As they step towards it one more time, Super block, first Remix squaring off. Hedan and Spree taking the high ground, coming in behind Kungarna, though. That's going to be a problem.
Well, Ube looking for the hook. Not quite finding it, and there's going to be that sound barrier from Kungarna. This might be the opening. They got Super block, and that's really big for them. And there was Spree with the nano boost, and Michael was able to find Hedan. So things really looking good for Kungarna now that Connor J has this whole hog, and oh my goodness, and the nano boost. He's just going to be shredding through people left and right. He got Mineral, Super block. He's gonna take Diva out of the sky there. That was Spree finishing him off. So Kungarna finally cementing their offense. They will get this first point. Luminosity, though, with a pretty solid hold overall. The Symmetra working pretty well.
Certainly taking away quite a bit of time. Mineral switching back to Lucio now that the first point is over, giving up Symmetra. Super block. Still ready to go with an Earth Shatter. Kungarna, self-destruct. Remix working on his own Earth Shatter. Hopefully he can make that connect better than he has so far in the Streets phase.
Michael goes for the self-destruct over top of the buildings there. Didn't really get anything with it. It just kind of went in blind, and I'm sure his teammates called out where it was at. They've traded 1 for 1 off the start. 5v5. Now Luminosity dropping yet another as Connor J is doing Connor J things at the moment. 3 for him on this fight. Remix charging through. 4 in total for Connor J. This guy is a monster on the Roadhog. It's going to allow Kungarna to just breeze through the streets. So far, at least. Luminosity is going to have a chance at a couple more fights here. That guy is just a monster, and you also have ults coming online for Kungarna as well. I mean, a few of them here.
And the will of Graviton and a nano. Meanwhile, Luminosity just with her own nano. Oh, and that hook on Mineral.
Oh, you can't catch a break. Look at Mineral going down. This should be another one fight easily for Kungarna here. 3 kills for them. Ube is still in. He's on May at the moment. He almost has his Blizzard as well. Icefelt coming in, trying to use the Pulse Bomb, but won't connect onto anybody. And really, Connor J, again, starting it off for them, getting the hook onto Mineral, killing him, and it allowed him to take 2 fights in a row. And now Luminosity, a couple guys getting forward spawns as well. They might even be able to get some out of the mech, but Kungarna's just rolling on the offense at the moment.
Connor J playing very far forward here. He's being kept alive, though. Down to about 300. Oh, that right click connecting with Super block's face.
Oh man, all these Luminosity players are just running onto the cart and dying on it. I guess it's time for a reset for them. They had people scattered and people that were still alive, so it's good to just go die on the cart. If you need to reset, just go die on the cart. Get your reset in, and now they'll have everybody back together.
Yeah, but 5 ultimates on the side of Kungarna as Blam comes online right about now. Luminosity with 3, 4, almost 5 at Pulse Bomb, not really connecting.
The Blizzard does go down. Remix uses Earth Shatter, but there's no one there to follow up, and maybe should have waited on that one. He definitely could have saved that for another fight, because Luminosity had already used a few ultimates there. And actually, it may have just been Blizzard and self-destruct, but still, he didn't really get much out of it. Regardless, they will still have a nano boost, as well as a self-destruct on the side of Kungarna. But they had also used the sound barrier last fight, Kungarna, so they will not have that available to themselves. Michael with that self-destruct, seeing maybe what he can do with that. Connor J starting it again to take Icefeld out of the equation on this next fight, and they are looking to move forward. Remix now is going to get that nano boost. Sound barrier from Luminosity looking to mitigate that damage that Remix is about to put out onto them. Superblock with a pretty big Earth Shatter from himself. Ajax eliminated here by Superblock, and he's still in, but quickly taken out by Michael. Is such low health for him. Connor J still going at it, getting two. And now the self-destruct is going to try and land right on top of the cart. Connor J was sleeping, so Spree had easy pickings for himself right there. But Kungarna still having pretty good control of the cart at the moment, but Luminosity's got those respawns coming in.
Maybe that's the ultimate answer for Connor J, right? And just try and squeeze in a sleep dart. Don't touch him at all and park a self-destruct right on his face.
This is the only way we can stop him. Yeah, but now they can do it. They just got to crack the equation, figure out.
Baby Bay would just save him with a shield or
yeah,
something.
Exactly.
I mean,
he's not even that.
Kungarna, two ultimates on their side, and one coming out from Baby Bay, catching a lot of luminosity in it.
There was a lot inside of that Graviton. Michael sent his self-destruct in to get both of the supports of Luminosity, and Ube falling to Remix as he finds two for himself to kill Spree on top of Ube, and Kungarna now definitely seeming as though they will be able to cap this point off. The Superblock wants to actually come out and contest. He'll get there in the nick of time. A good biotic from Hedan on top of the balcony. Yeah, he's just sitting up there supporting his team from afar, and I don't know if anyone from Kungarna even realizes it yet, and there is a whole hog from Connor J to try and pick up a couple more kills here. Ube has switched to Farah for Luminosity to see maybe if they can hold him off here, as they are finding kills on Kungarna at the moment. And it may just be Luminosity hanging on.
That might be the hold. That might be the hold right there. Luminosity moments away from potentially taking map one.
Kungarna is going to have one last shot, 15 seconds. They're going to have to speed boost into the point as well. So it is just a few seconds now, and Ube is going to be up high, and the self-destruct going in. That's going to be it for Remix, and so picked up Blam going down as well. Two for them. Luminosity seeming to be able to hold on right now. Baby Bay sitting up on the high ground as Soldier 76. He's got to find something, though. Quickly being contested by Spree to get finished off. That should be it. Luminosity will hang on the defense to stop Kungarna, and they will take map one in this best of three.
What a thrilling match. Again, this is Overwatch for you. You don't know who wins until the very, very last moment. It looked like they were going to make the final hold, and then no, Luminosity shutting it down, holds them down, and takes the win.
Yeah, it was close. I thought Kungarna was going to be able to take it coming into the match, but Luminosity, again, proving me wrong, and they had a great defense, as you said, Caleb, right at the end there. Both teams were able to pull out those defenses towards the end, but Luminosity certainly looking a little more collected and playing well compared to yesterday.
Yeah, plus testing out Sombra for the first time, at least,
that
at
was
least
a
in the
lot of
winter
fun to see.
premiere. And it really, really worked out for them. I mean, aside from that third point, they were moving pretty consistently the entire time. And Kungarna able to slow them down a lot on the third point, but when that situation was on the other way around, Luminosity full held, Henan hanging out on the high ground. Not to mention the sleep dart to the self-destruct that picked up two in the back, just absolutely gutted Kungarna's ability to push on that final point.
I'm going to come back and talk to you again about that Sombra pick. But first, we're going to take a look at Superblock and his play on Reinhardt. Clutch plays from this man as they're able to take the win.
Superblock was making some big plays, really crucial earth shatters to Luminosity's success throughout much of this.
Just see his health.
Yeah, I mean, look at this. This is another big one for him right there, and just allows the rest of Luminosity to clean up on those guys. So he did well at initiating and just being an overall presence in the team fights, getting in there, not afraid to just start swinging away and help Luminosity to victory on map one.
And so what do you think is the mindset behind Luminosity hiding that Sombra pick up until now? And then Icefeld comes out and seems to play it very well, as if he's been playing it for a long time. Kungarna had no seeming response to these EMPs. What do you think was the mentality behind that pick there?
I think they thought they could catch them off guard with it, and they certainly did. Kungarna didn't really make any adjustments to deal with the Sombra, so it worked for them. And I'd like to see them continue to work with it, Luminosity, a little bit. It seemed to work well for them. And Kungarna, if they're not going to do anything to deal with it, then why not?
I could see a couple different reasons, actually, and this might take a while, but first off, the Sombra obviously worked against Kungarna for complexity. So there's a little bit of that, right? You know that you can get some distance out of it. You could argue that perhaps they've now been practiced with it or know what to look for. But then there's also the factor that this is a double day for them. Now, every team in the Winter Premier will have to play a double day at some point where they play 2 matches in 1 day in order to get through essentially the 7 rounds of an 18-round robin over 6 days. That's why we're into 5 matches a day from here on out for the most part. So if they really want to throw off everyone, you can break out a completely different set of strategies for the first match in particular. And then the second match, they've always got to wonder, well, are they going to run this one, or are they going to run that brand new thing they just broke out? And there's always a lot of things you can do to kind of destabilize people's planning at that point. So if there ever was a time to do it, now's the time, and I think Luminosity probably recognized that part the most.
So map number 2, rather, will be Watch Point Gibraltar, and this will be it for Kungarna. They've got a hold here, or they're going home.
Yeah, this is a map they actually had success with against Complexity, I believe, on day 1. So we'll see. This is they generally look pretty good here overall, and pretty close with Complexity. So they are going to be going against Luminosity, though, for today on it, and we'll see. They will be on the defense first, Kungarna. This time, Luminosity will be starting us off on the attack, and well, Kungarna, pretty standard. This is generally what we see from them on the defense of this map. They'll just put Baby Bay up top with Blam, Baby Bay playing Soldier 76, and of course, everybody else playing their usual roles here.
Yeah, and then let D.Va fly around and either shut down somebody in particular or just sort of get up on the high ground behind them as they come through the bridge and fire down the back of their heads. It's just kind of a lot of different spread out positions that are hard to deal with when you attack into Kungarna on Gibraltar. And they've looked very strong on Gibraltar, one of the teams that really doesn't have a whole lot of trouble in the second point. It certainly causes a lot of other teams trouble in the second point, at least so far in the Winter Premier. Luminosity, like you said, will be on defense. I'm curious if they're going to run Sombra here too.
Well, we'll see. I mean, as we talked about earlier, this is a map that you can do it on. Icefeld is going to go for the early Sonic, but no, he will be switching to Soldier 76 for now, not going for that Sombra again. He thinks better of it for this map, apparently, but
I'd agree with that, especially with Baby Bay on Soldier 76.
Yeah, and Kungarna's got themselves a bit spread throughout their first point defense. It might be a bit harder to get a real good EMP off, so...
Yeah, it's not like EMPing 4 tanks.
Right, exactly, where they're all just kind of clumping. So, they will be just running Icefeld on that 76, and now that card has come up the hill. We should be seeing a fight momentarily. Luminosity hurtling back into the... Oh,
wow, that's huge.
That is just all the way from downtown for Connor J. And that'll force Luminosity to back up, wait for Icefeld to get the respawn. He's going to get Spree in there as well, but he's easily able to fly away. So Luminosity in the regroup mode. We'll see if they want to do the same thing. I'm guessing their plan was to potentially go all the way up top on the high ground and basically flip-flop sides as they went into that server room.
Yeah, clear Baby Bay off the high ground in particular.
Well, now they have Spree trying to go up there to deal with him. And they actually do end up kind of flip-flopping a little bit. Baby Bay still up top, though, uncontested. Super Plot goes down to Connor J. Baby Bay and Blam are both up here, just able to do really whatever they want. The Luminosity are still finding kills. Ube and Icefeld amongst the players to be able to pick some up. So Baby Bay's going to have to do something big. He does have a nano boost attack visor at his disposal, and he is going to be able to do a lot of damage. Spree getting knocked out of the mech. There is going to be a self-destruct to try and zone him. Just before that, though, he took down Spree, but he will end up getting finished off by Icefeld. Michael back into the fray here to try and hold this first point for Kungarna. This Remix has made his way back as well. Now Super Plot getting that nano boost, gets earth shattered by Remix, though should be charged in just a moment. There it is. He's going to lay into him, and Kungarna are going to be able to hold themselves on the first point, shutting down Luminosity after using a few ultimates on the side of Luminosity.
Kungarna, they've got a self-destruct, a whole hog on their side, and a sound barrier on the way. Luminosity, their own whole hog, and Earth Shatter. But everything else fairly low. I guess a sound barrier looming here with 20% left. Michael just getting a little bit of forward vision here on Luminosity as they press forward, backing up, flying around behind him. He's going to knock them all off.
Yeah, that's beautiful play from Michael. He does that so well, getting the disrupts and initiating for Kungarna and Blam. Already, look at this, the Luminosity. Not much they can do about it. Baby Bay, though, is going to get taken out by Spree. Luminosity is exchanged 2 for 2, so they will decide to use the sound barrier off of that. They think they have a shot at winning this fight. Remix able to get Spree, so it's just Icefeld sitting back here, but totally denied thus far by Michael, and Kungarna using a sound barrier of their own, and that might spell the end for Luminosity at the time, for the time being at least. And Icefeld dying late, and there's only 45 seconds for them to work with. And so far they only have, well, they're probably gonna have about 3 ultimates for the next fight. And Kungarna, though, they already have 4 online.
They've got 4, and they're on defense, and Baby Bay at 60%. Very likely he can get one in the middle of this fight, depending on how long it lasts. I mean, 30 seconds left. Luminosity on the ropes here, in my opinion.
Yeah, they are certainly on the ropes. It's going to be a tough one. Connor J starting it off. He gets a nano boost and the whole hog, and he will follow these guys all the way inside of the server room. Does get Earth Shatter, but Superplock himself is going to get sent to the ground. So they're trying to find something on this fight. Luminosity, Icefeld does have a tack visor that he can work with, though. No Diva up in his face either, so can he find kills? That's the thing. Oh no, there's only 3 guys up for them. It's gonna be all done for Luminosity, just getting demolished there. Baby Bay with a big tack visor of his own to send them to the other side. And oh wow, they are looking very good here, Kungarna. That defense was quite gorgeous.
And that Earth Shatter picking up so many people. 3, really, but 3 very, very important players. And Reinhardt and Ana alone is worth the Earth Shatter. But if you're catching a Lucy off the corner, well, goodbye.
Yeah, see you later. And, well, now we're going to go for the change of sides. And Kungarna doesn't need to do all that much on the offense, really. I mean, they don't have to push it far, not even first point. So Luminosity, they're going to have to pull something big on the defense. They do have Ube showing a Mei so far, and I mean, at this point, you might as well go for things that can stall over and over, because I mean, Kungarna's going to have 4 minutes of just going at them on this first point. But if Kungarna is able to get this first checkpoint, they are clear to send it to a 3rd and final map.
Luminosity going to run 4 tanks in this situation. Not entirely sure how I feel about that. I really, really feel like Soldier 76 is just so strong in the high ground, especially when you can put Ana up there as well. As long as you structure your team kind of around those positions, but at the same time, opponents can come around. Do you like role-playing a real hacker right now?
Yeah, I think so.
Or a modern DJ? You really want to get into it?
I mean,
he's not actually doing anything, he's just bouncing his hand up and down.
It could go either way. I mean, he definitely looks like he's going to work hacking. Look at him.
Something's glitching out.
Hopefully the server doesn't crash.
Yeah, oh, God, yeah. Complexity's not playing. That won't happen.
Oh. Well, here we go. It's Kungarna going to the offense. If they don't need to push far, and they are going to be sitting up top. Some of those Luminosity players, they're playing aggressively towards the. They were aggressively towards the top, but now starting to rotate back around into the underpass. And see, as we said, 4 tanks for Luminosity. Kungarna, they are going to have Baby Bay still rocking on the Soldier 76, and he was quite effective for them on defense there, so why not keep him on it? If we can get him on some sort of a high ground, it would be a really big, and look at that, he is already on this high ground here. And Michael will be trying to push the cart forward. All of Kungarna have gotten themselves on the high ground. This is something they often do on this map, actually. All get up to this point in the high ground. Baby Bay tries to make the jump, and he will just wrap back around and get on top of this high ground from behind. They did this exact same thing. It was either yesterday or the day before. Now he himself has got basically the same defensive positioning that he had when Kungarna was on the defense, and he already gets super block, heat in, down to Michael. And Baby Bay is still just sitting up top there uncontested. And this is just easy mode for Kungarna right now. Pressing forward, the exact same thing that they did on other days we watch them on this map. I can't remember if it was yesterday or not, but still, I don't even think anyone from Luminosity is going to make it back. Superblock is coming in here. Remix getting the Earth Shatter. Here it is. Kungarna easy to take this. Baby Bay with 3 for himself. And Kungarna just breezing through Gibraltar with no issues whatsoever for them.
Yeah, absolutely. Baby Bay taking that high ground and coming in from behind them. It seemed like a situation to me that really probably should have worked out differently.
Well,
you got
no
all
one
6
contested
players
him.
in one group. You send somebody around and they flank it, so it's the opponent, right? You got Baby Bay behind you. He fires in. You point Diva or something at him. Make sure that he doesn't get the return from that, and immediately press onto everybody else. And it's an isolated 6-on-5 as long as you capture it really, really quickly. But I mean, perhaps that's a little bit harder to execute in reality than it sounds like conceptually. But either way, they allowed Baby Bay to come in there and fire from up there for so long he was able to get a pick. And at that point, now it's just you're surrounded in a 6v5, and the tables turn completely to the other side.
Yeah, that's the thing. He was uncontested when he did it. I would assume teams are going to start. Yeah, look at this. He's just
Let him do it.
literally had no one on him.
Picks off super block too, which is the worst. One of the worst possible scenarios in this.
That's the thing. In that situation, I don't know if nobody saw him drop and
They must not
start to
have.
flank
They must
because, I mean, as soon as they saw that happen, Icefeld needs to be ready to just go and contest him as soon as that happens because they did the same strategy on other days on this map, and now I think teams are going to be a little more aware of it, that he immediately does that, and he just sits in the exact same spot that he does when he's on defense, and he can do whatever he wants. Unless you get the Diva up there, you need to get the Diva up there to contest him.
And they certainly did. Kungarna looking very strong on that map, pulling a Renegades of just a 1-0 here on Gibraltar. And we've seen that so much today of Gibraltar, this first point, where it used to be, where it was we were seeing teams push in. We haven't seen the third section of this map yet today. Like, no one has capped the second point. We've played it 3 times.
Everybody's having trouble with the first 2 stages.
Yeah.
They can't even begin to think about the third.
One day, everybody has trouble assembling a strong defense, and we just constantly push all the way. And the next day, everybody's going hero mode on defense.
They all
knows?
listened. They were like, "Oh, Caleb really wants strong defenses. Let's get some strong defenses for Gibraltar." That's exactly what happened.
And now it's
Yes.
As
They lean back on the couch and stare at
like,
a poster
got him.
of you just thinking about it. What can I do to impress Caleb today?
What does Wavepunk want? Yeah.
That was exactly it. I guarantee it. But no, it's crazy. These guys, on no days are there good defenses and offenses both. It's one or the other. And today it's the day of the defense. Today, apparently.
At least with Renegades, every day is defense day.
Well,
That's
yeah,
true.
exactly. It's that's just their thing,
That's
I guess.
true.
But
with that win, Kungarna does force a third map. We'll go to one final game here, and it will be Kings Row, where it all is decided. We've seen some defenses here before. We've also seen some blazing offenses. Who do you think is going to take it here after seeing 2 games?
After seeing that, I'm feeling Kungarna on Kings Row. If I do say so myself, you're given some deep thought
It
there.
would fit into
You need another minute.
It would fit into my prediction. I mean, I can go either way on this one. Luminosity on Kings Row versus Kungarna on Kings Row. I'm just going to judge it basically solely off of last map, and then that's Kungarna, yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, there you have it.
I'm just. There's a part of my mind that's very worried about Luminosity, because after that last map, if this goes bad, they have a short break and then play Kingdom.
Yeah.
Renegades. It's Renegades. It's the Detroit Renegades.
Get it together.
I'm sorry. I'll make it up to you, Renegades. I'll wake up every day, look in the mirror, maybe tweet it out. By the way, Kingdom is now Renegades.
And please angrily tweet at him for getting this wrong. I want to see some angry tweets. But it is Kungarna this time. Now we're back in the game. I guess we have a game to cast. It's Kungarna. They're on the offense first. And Luminosity will try themselves on defense. But so far, Kungarna is showing a dive comp. I would love to see it come from them. We've seen them pull it off with great success in the past. And they'll have Connor J At least at the time being, they'll have him on Genji, Michael on Tracer, Remix on the Winston. Maybe, no, they might be switching it back. Sad. No? He's going to go back to Genji. All right, he's just messing with us. But here we go. It is the dive comp coming out from Kungarna. And pretty standard setup from Luminosity. Triple tank, Icefeld on 76. You know, the huge on King's Road defense. But Michael already wrapping around this backhand side.
We saw his Tracer yesterday.
Which was very, very vicious. He's going to be looking to get on this backline. And I see that even this, what he's doing right now is good because he's just distracting them. And he's being a nuisance, a pain in the butt for them. And now he's dropping behind and waiting for the rest of his team to come back up. And Ube, well, Ube's at least going to start it off as the rest of Kungarna dove in. Remix went down. So did Baby Bay. Icefeld ended up getting killed. And Connor J's still in the mix. But it's time to back up as Kungarna lost some of their players, but it's a good idea. I mean, Michael was at least given the harassments. It's just the Kungarna guys dropped in the beginning.
And Luminosity recognizing that the amount of damage they're going to take from that feels like more than it's actually going to happen. I mean, when you hear the headshots coming in and everything, it's easy to kind of overreact, but if you look up and see that, but hold that thought, here comes Kungarna.
They're going to be right back into it. Pulse bomb off from Michael, gets two to kick us off, and Remix taking down Super Block, so it is definitely going to be Kungarna all over this point. They came back with a vengeance and a team wipe on their second push. Oh, man.
Oh, that little dance.
All started
everything I hoped it would be.
Well, he did the little dance here, too. Gave him the dance with the pulse bomb zipping in and rewinding right back out. And it was just crushing blows from Kungarna there. Now Luminosity are back into the fight. Ube will now be on the Mei for this Streets phase.
3 years later, the payload comes out of the garage, and Kungarna
really
starts their assault on the Streets phase.
Yeah, I've been waiting. Oh my goodness, that ice goal from Ube just melted Baby Bay, but Ube is quite hurt at the moment. He'll just go into the fetal position inside of his ice block, and well, Michael is gonna be trying to chase him down. He still wants to finish him off. Finally gets him with the pulse bomb. He'll use it on him. And Michael relatively uncontested in the back here. There is going to be a Graviton surge out from Luminosity. And that will find a lot of players of Kungarna, Icefeld and Spree able to find a few for themselves. So Kungarna is gonna have to go back to the drawing board and regroup for another push here. Soon coming up on a few ultimates. Remix and Ajax, Baby Bay and Connor J all about to have one.
Yeah, a lot to draw on the drawing board for Kungarna. They're basically looking like 4 ultimates in the next few seconds. Luminosity, you said it, holding on to 2, basically 3. Kungarna getting some distance here in the Streets phase. Luminosity looking for their exact opening they want to take. I mean, the self-destruct by itself can be enough in the right circumstances, but they're probably waiting to connect it. There's an Earth Shatter.
There's that Earth Shatter. A few are going to drop to that, and the rest of Kungarna flooding through into the alleyway to try and clean up on it. Oh, the self-destruct is going to land right in front of Connor J. And Icefeld actually is able to get 2 off of the back of that, and Luminosity, coupled with that Blizzard that Ube threw out there, is going to put Kungarna down and stop them right there.
I've seen hooks get shut down a lot of ways, but a self-destruct landing directly next to you right before you fire is not one you see very often.
Do not see it too often at all, but it will be Kungarna now. It'll be Kungarna. 3 ultimates for them ready to go. And Luminosity, they have a couple for themselves. Super Block, the Earth Shatter. And now the Graviton. Oh no, Graviton came out, got eaten up though, so nothing off of that. Baby Bay, we've seen that happen to him quite a few times over the last few days, just tossing it right inside of, right into D.Va's defense matrix. And Luminosity are really holding these streets strong. I mean, it's just seconds and Kungarna gets obliterated. And Ube, a big part of that as well on Mei for sure with these walls.
I feel like if Kungarna doesn't cap the second point, Luminosity is going to take this map.
Yeah, I would agree with you. And Kungarna's, well, they now have a nano boost.
Ultimates on their side too for Luminosity.
Yeah, this is, at this point, Kungarna may as well just try and go in, bait ultimates out of Luminosity at this point, really. Just go in, bait them out, and here they go. They're going to go in with some. Ajax using his sound barrier, and there's going to be Graviton. No one going down. Finally, Super Block. He gets 2 for himself, man. Kungarna. Oh my, they use a sound barrier there. I really didn't want to see them use a sound barrier there. Just go in and bait the ultimates, and Michael's going to get staggered very, very late here. And that's not good news for them. They're already down to 1 minute and 25 seconds left. And, I mean, they don't really have... They have a couple to work with. They'll have maybe 4 for the fight, but Luminosity's doing a good job of managing their ultimates as well because they have 3. And 2 of those are a lot of CC.
All 3 of those are huge.
Yeah.
And that's self-destruct, an Earth Shatter, and a Blizzard on defense with 1 minute left. That's a lot to work with. Kungarna starting to... Actually, they're not the ones pressing. Super Block's going to lead Luminosity right into the assault.
Luminosity not afraid to play it.
Oh, that Earth Shatter.
Earth Shatters on both sides are going to put players down. There is a Blizzard to land on top of it as well. Luminosity are still just rolling here. Michael is going to get ejected from the mech. Ube gets 2 here, and I think that might be about set and done for Kungarna. They'll have 1 last shot, but man, they're just not getting anything off of these ultimates. Luminosity is playing their game well. They're managing their ults well. They still have 4 ults to work with.
Connor J getting a lesson in thermodynamics there. You don't have to be completely immersed in the Blizzard. Just a little toe in and it'll freeze you eventually. Luminosity with, let's call it 4 ultimates on their side. Kungarna with 2, and Baby Bay, you can count on that being 3, but they might not have the time.
Oh, the Biotic lands on top of all these guys. Icefelt and Spree bringing it home for Luminosity. I think that might just do it for Kungarna's offense. There's no one around. I mean, they don't even have any ultimates to work with Kungarna, and there's still a lot of Luminosity players here. That'll seal it at least. For the offense, Kungarna didn't even make it far in those streets. And the ultimate management from Luminosity there was very, very solid in the streets. I mean, they always had something up, and they got a lot of value out of whatever they did use in a fight. But it seems like they just always had something to work with. Because right after this fight, where they just used Blizzard, Earth Shatter, then they had Graviton, Sound Barrier, they had a Nano Boost, and even a self-destruct. And Kungarna, there was just times where they used theirs, but didn't really get anything out of them, and times where I would have liked to have seen them just go in, bait ults, take another fight after that. Just go in and die, kind of thing.
Yeah, well, it's Luminosity's game to win right now. That is not an unreachable point of the streets phase whatsoever. You get that first point in a reasonable amount of time, honestly, at all, and that's definitely within reach.
Yeah, this is very, very within reach for Luminosity. I mean, they could send this one home 2-1, and they'll feel good going into their next match as well.
Which is so important.
Yeah. Yeah, because they do have another one right after this, so they will be playing against Renegades once this match concludes. And first they need to get through this one. That's the big thing. And they have a fantastic opportunity to do so. It's theirs to win for sure. And Kungarna on the defense, nothing unusual for them. A pretty standard setup. Same thing that they ran on Gibraltar. Same thing they run on a lot of their defenses. Well, Baby Bay on that 76 to just sit up on the high ground and kind of shoot down at them. Luminosity, see what they want to go with, though. They do have Icefeld, Hanzo so far. Maybe just a quick, not even a quick, Sonic Arrow.
Get Icefeld in there to flank around Kungarna as quickly as possible. But Baby Bay, both of those two will probably come head-to-head at some point here. It's fairly inevitable on the first point. Luminosity just now starting their assault in the first point of King's Row.
And just working right in to him as Luminosity looking for that early hook. Not going to find it. They do have Mineral on as Zenyatta this time. Baby Bay's all the way up top. Remix, first of all, that is really bad news for Kungarna. 2 down for them already, and he's got that Discord up on Diva, who's on the high ground. That's Michael up there, and
the right click from Zarya and the Helix coming in from Icefeld, taking out Baby Bay without him even showing his face, it looked like from our angle. And that's going to be the first point for Luminosity with 5 minutes and 40 seconds left on the clock. That is a long time to push it just a little bit down the streets phase. I'd say roughly 2/3.
Yeah, they have all the time in the world right now. Kungarna's going to have to I mean, have a miracle or something, but they have no ults either at the moment.
I mean, neither have a whole lot of
neither,
have ultimates, but Luminosity certainly has the advantage. Kungarna's got to take it to him early and really set it back.
Well, here we go. They are going to charge in, or at least Remix is going to charge in off the start here. And a hook up top. How did that land from Connor J? What the hell was that? Ice Belt going down. Connor J is going to take a decent bit of damage, but he's looking for a little bit more. I mean, he does have the... There's going to be a Zed Yada up top as well, but the Mineral, he's all the way up top in the window. Continuing to get the hooks here is Connor J.
Honestly, I don't know what's wrong with us. Being surprised by things that hooks do is so 2016.
I mean, yeah, that's true. That is true. Hey, Hook 2.0 though, huh? How about that? Soon. Either way, it's Luminosity. They got 4 ultimates online for themselves at the moment.
Super Block getting real close to 5, but a Graviton coming out for Luminosity as they're looking to close this map out. They will get a lot of distance out of this.
They just used 3 ultimates in total, and they are finding the kills to back it up to justify this ultimate usage spree with 2 of them. Ube to kill Blam, and Kungarna's got such a long walk back here. All they can hope for is that if there's anybody around to even just to stall the point during this, that's all they're...
Baby Bay can't do it alone. Not on Zarya.
He's going to get melted real quick. I don't think there's... No, nobody's going to be there to do it. And Luminosity having their way with Kungarna there on Kings Row and map 3. Pretty solid game from them, man.
What a match here. That was one of the more thrilling quick matches we've seen so far, especially when I loved the way that Kungarna came out of the gates swinging, bringing Michael on Tracer, quickly takes the first point, gets a team wipe, and then they can't bring it together in the streets phase as we see Luminosity just really cohesion as a team and just completely wipe them time and time and time again.
The defense was great there. Luminosity, I think, like I was saying, their ultimate management was just superb throughout the street phase in particular because they always had ultimates online. That was a big thing for them, and Kungarna just couldn't seem to get value out of theirs.
So we will take another look at Luminosity's blazing fast cap on the first point. They look just as strong as Kungarna did right here.
And they had Mineral going. Generally, you always have at least like Lucio on the offense, but they went for the Ana Zen on the offense this time. Generally something you'll see more so on the defense. It worked well for them. Mineral just sitting in the back, keeping that Discord up and allowing guys like Icefelt to just select targets and melt them.
If Baby Bay's going to hang up in that window, which he does a lot of the time, and perhaps Luminosity doing their homework and knowing that, as soon as the Discord lands on him, that really shuts down that window play because the Zenyatta on the other side, he knows exactly when you're coming back to that. He can relay it, I mean, a little bit, just tell people he's still in the general window area so that you know he's not slipping someplace. And as a Soldier 76, that's got to be in your head. You can't necessarily wait it out because the fight's going to be over. And even still, when you come back, it's just going to land on you anyways. You can't have a Discord press you out of the fight for a few seconds every time. So it's really just another position is probably what should have happened there. But as long as Mineral's spamming his projectiles into that window, you're not going to get anything at all. So Luminosity possibly doing their homework there on the first point, and it certainly paid out.
Now, David, you mentioned before this map that if Luminosity were to lose, it would be really detrimental to their mentality going into their next match against Renegades. How do you feel that this win helps them?